Hi everyone, my name is Dr. John Douillard and welcome to our Facebook Live here at LifeSpa.com, where we prove ancient medical wisdom of Ayurveda with modern science. And today I want to talk about something I think is maybe the most important thing of all to talk about, which is your lymphatic system. In Ayurvedic medicine, the lymphatic system, called rasa, is the first system that we evaluate and the first system that we treat. Why? Because it's the drains in your body. If the drains are clogged in any system, you got trouble. And so it doesn't really make sense to manipulate the blood or evaluate the blood if the drains are clogged, because everything would sort of eventually back up into the blood. So it's not a blood problem, it might be a drain problem. Sort of logical, right? Well, that's what Ayurveda talks about. And the study of longevity and the study of the lymphatic system was called rasayana, which is the study of rasa, which is the study of lymph. And so it's like a really important thing. And I've written a free ebook that you can get with over 100 scientific references. I've got, I don't know how many articles on the lymphatic system. We have a whole health section of information, articles I've written about the lymph, which I think is really interesting, is that there are volumes of research on the lymphatic system buried in the medical journals, which sometimes take 10, 15, 20 years to reach medical practice, sometimes never. Where Ayurvedic medicine talked about the lymph thousands of years ago, what I try to do is bring the science to it so you can see the ancient wisdom, the ancient understanding how to treat and address these issues, and the modern science, and bring them together, and then get the benefit of the ancient wisdom and modern science, which we have lots and lots of information about, and in fact a whole lot more coming your way. Tomorrow there's a lymph training series, about 4 videos that I've done, full-on information-based, scientific, ancient wisdom-based scientific training on the lymphatic system. It starts tomorrow. So please sign up for that. And tomorrow, well, you can sign up for it now. The first video is released tomorrow, and it goes from the 9th, May 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So those are the 4. Each day we'll release a new video on those 4 days. On the 15th of May, all the videos disappear, but you have access to them for free during those times. So and there'll be a link to get signed up for that and to get tuned into that. It's also on my homepage. You can go there at LifeSpa.com and get that as well. Really great training. I got to say, if you're interested in the lymphatic system, then you may want to kind of tune into this training. And also on my homepage as we speak at LifeSpa.com, there'll be a link for that as well. In these show notes here is the link to a new article I wrote about my lymph quiz, to take our lymph quiz. And what's a lymph quiz? Well, it's a whole questionnaire asking you questions about your system that may be linked to underlying lymphatic issues that you might not have known you had. And I think it's really powerful information. So I want to give you a little intro into what the lymph system is, a little intro into what that quiz might look like, and that's a fun thing to do. Just go to the quiz on my homepage and take the lymph quiz and get it out, and then get signed up for the training and get all this free knowledge. I mean, to me, it's like I said, this is thousands of years of Ayurveda, where it's all about, hey, make sure your lymph system is working well, make sure the drains are open, make sure the drains aren't clogged, and then from there you can then treat other things. But it is the study of longevity was the study of the lymphatic system. So what are the things that the lymphatic system does? Well, there's 3 things that are primary that the lymph does. And the number one is it's delivering, this is really interesting, your lymphatic system is delivering broken down digested fats, triglycerides and monoglycerides, into every cell of your body as baseline energy. So if you're not breaking down your fats, if you have issues with fats, if you get indigestion or heartburn when you eat fats, challenge yourself with bad fats. If you have trouble with greasy fried food and gives you heartburn and indigestion, or just sits there, there's a suggestion that you're not probably digesting the fats as well as you could. Clearly, the bad fats are a challenge food, but does that mean you're digesting all the fats as well as you should and delivering those fats as broken down particles to deliver energy to every cell of your body. And of course, the big acid test is, how do you feel? Do you feel the energy that you would love to have? Are you tired, lethargic, fatigued? Do you wake up tired? Those kinds of questions would indicate that you're not delivering that energy. Chronic fatigue syndrome is classically in a lack of ability to deliver the baseline energy of your body through the lymphatic system, which is your fats to every cell of your body. That's how it works. And if you're not delivering those, you're probably going to crave a whole bunch of sugar and starches and get the energy in a different way, which is why the reason why many of us have overshot the carbohydrate starch runway and created issues in terms of prediabetes and blood sugar issues, because we did in fact that. We got really good at digesting starches because we really stink at digesting fats, and fats metabolism is compromised in us because of all the highly processed foods that we've been eating for so long, which are preserved with indigestible fats like the bleached, boiled, deodorized polyunsaturated fatty acids they stick in every packaged food to make it sit on the shelf forever. That's why bread can stay on the shelf for a month now and never get hard, because the bugs won't eat it on the shelf and they don't eat it inside of you. So where do all the bad fats go? They go to your liver, they congest it, they compromise bile flow, and that lack of good bile flow means no breaking down of the fats into the pieces that they need to be delivered to your body, to every cell as baseline energy. That's simply how it works. And it screws with your lymphatic flow, your delivery of energy. So that's the one thing you got to realize, is that happens. That's why when you eat foods that give you like a food coma after a meal, you didn't break that food down properly. So those fats and the proteins got uptaken into the collecting ducts of your lymph, and they clogged the lymph, and they created a block of that energy delivery system. So you felt like you needed to go hit the bed or the couch because you were exhausted with a food coma. That leads us to the second thing that the lymph system does, which is it's taking away a lot of the undigested foods, like the unbroken down proteins and fats. In particular, the lymph in your intestinal tract, which lines to the top to the bottom of your intestinal tract, is got what are called lacteals, which are like the garbage collectors, and anything that didn't get broken down properly in your stomach will go undigested into your small intestine, and they're too big now to get into your blood. So where do all these undigested particles go? They get uptaken into your lymphatic system. It'd be great if the body just got rid of them, but because of millions of years of evolution, that where food wasn't so readily available as it is today, everything had to be double checked before it got excreted out of the body. So all the proteins and fats get reabsorbed through the lymph. They get processed and scrubbed with white blood cells in the lymph nodes, and they get processed back to the liver, reevaluated, and possibly reused if needed to make energy for the body, or hormones or whatever else the liver is needing to do with those fats and those proteins. So the garbage can is your lymphatic system as well, but that garbage can gets overwhelmed only when your upper digestive system has broken down, which is why I wrote the book Eat Wheat, because people say wheat's the public enemy number one, and it's not public enemy number one. It's a hard to digest food. So are lectins, and that are on nuts and seeds and beans and grains and legumes. So are goitrogens, so are nightshades, so are a lot of foods that are hard to digest that we evolved to be able to pull off. And if you let a few of those go unbroken down into the small intestine, they'll get uptaken into your lymphatic system. And there are literally digestive enzymes in your lymph to help mitigate that to a certain extent. But if the digestion has gotten broken down because of all the processed foods and a million reasons, which I can describe in another video, we'll leave those foods that go undigested into your small intestine. They're too big to get into your blood. They don't feed you. Your brain starts craving more of the bad stuff. And all those bigger, larger protein and fat molecules go into your lymph, and they clog it up. And they will push their way into the fat around your belly, the fat around your legs, causing cellulite, and they'll dump into the rest of the lymphatic parts of your body, which include, there's so much to talk about here, and I'll try to wrap this up because I know you guys probably got to go, but there's many aspects of the lymphatic system. There's your skin-associated lymph, which is why when you eat wheat, you get a rash. Well, it's not because the wheat causes a rash. It's because you didn't break the wheat down the way you should, or the nuts or the seeds or the grains or the beans the way it should. So that caused a inability to break it down. The undigested particles got into your lymph, they clog the lymph, and they find their way out through the skin as an exit ramp because those lymphs underneath your skin were congested, right? That's what makes sense. So we can blame the wheat, and you can take the wheat out of your diet and feel better, and you should do that. Makes sense, right? Why would you eat something that makes you get a rash? But we didn't fix the problem. And that's what you really need to do, is dig in and say, okay, what's the real problem here? Oh, what aspect of my digestive system has been broken down? And that's why I wrote Eat Wheat, to give you a troubleshooting guide to figure that out. And if you don't like reading books, like you want to read quick articles, I've got hundreds of articles on troubleshooting your digestion for free on my website as well. So the information is there to figure it out and solve the problem. Because here's the thing, you got to remember, your digestive system is the same system as your lymphatic system. And if your lymphatic system, your digestive system is the same system as your detox system. So if you're not able to digest well, you're not able to detox well. And with an environment full of 400 billion pounds of toxic chemicals dumped in the American environment every single year, it's really critically important that we have the ability to digest well and detoxify well. So just taking food that's hard to digest out of the diet doesn't help you solve the detox problem, the environmental pollutant problem, the mercury on every from the coal mine plumes on every organic vegetable problem. What do we do about those? They only get out of our body when we have good, strong digestive strength. And that's what we're trying to make sure happens here. And this whole course, in the free video course I'm talking about, is all about understanding the ins and outs and how to strengthen your lymphatic system. And from there, we give you all types of links to articles about how to upstream treat your digestive system as well. There's brain lymphatics that drain 3 pounds of chemicals and plaque out of your brain while you sleep at night, which is called brain fog. A host of imbalances, mood-related, energy-related, cognitive decline, brain fog. All these things are linked to congestion of your lymph again. Back upstream to where the cause of that lymphatic congestion is, back to your digestion. So in Ayurveda, 85% of all disease comes from digestion, and here we see the understanding of why. Because your lymph system is the very first system that's evaluated and must be treated first. There's lymphs that line your respiratory tract, your gut, your skin, your brain, that jumps into your brain, dumps waste out of your brain chemistry. So it's a vast, largest circulatory system of your body, which is extremely, extremely important. And then finally, the third thing that your lymphatic system does is it carries your immune system. And so if your immune system is stuck in traffic because of lymph congestion, then your immune system doesn't know how many fire trucks to send to the fire on Broadway. Do I send 1, 2, 10? If you send 100, that's an overzealous immune reaction, sometimes called autoimmunity. And they have now good science to link autoimmunity to congested lymph as well, particularly the lymphs in the brain and the central nervous system that drain 3 pounds of chemicals and plaque out of your head and central nervous system while you sleep at night. If you don't sleep good, you don't drain good, you don't drain good, you don't sleep good. And why would you not drain good? You back it upstream to your digestion. So understanding the lymphatic system is the first step in Ayurvedic medicine. The very first step to getting optimal health is to make sure you understand how and why your lymph system got congested. Second step, go upstream, let's troubleshoot your digestion, and we'll give you all types of tools to make sure you get that job done as well. Okay, so don't forget, take my lymph quiz where you can find out what part of your lymph system is broken down and how to fix it, which is really cool with herbs and lifestyle and diet and nutrition and things like that. Number 2, don't miss my free lymphatic training, which starts tomorrow. You can sign up for it today. The first video comes out tomorrow, that's May 9th. And for the next 4 days till May 12th, you can get a video each day on the lymphatic system, which I think is just amazingly overwhelming amount of information on the lymph, which I think you'll love. And those videos will be up on the site, available to you for free till May 15th. So sign up for that right now. And get all those videos and get that free lymphatic training information, and we'll go from there. All right, so talk to you guys next week. Next week we're going to talk about distance healing. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be amazing. Some of the most amazing research on how distance healing and prayer actually works. So don't miss that. See you next week. Thanks for listening.